I delivered our letter to Fort Mercius. I don't think they suspected anything.
I knew I was right to entrust that task to you. You've got that honest kind of face that makes it easy to fool people.
Is that meant to be a compliment?
What did you write in the letter?
I informed them that reinforcements were on the way. It would have been suspicious for troops to show up unannounced.
So, the plan is...
We'll disguise ourselves as reinforcements from the Imperial capital and sneak into Fort Mercius.
Oh, you used my disguise plan after all.
We've also procured Imperial Army uniforms.
Ooh, good work. I knew this was the only way.
However, that alone wouldn't be enough.
You did say the plan needed a little more refinement. Are you going to dress up like Edelgard, Claude?
I'm not sure that would accomplish much. In the letter, I included the name of the Imperial General leading the reinforcements. While we're heading to the fort, a separate army is going to attack us.
We're going to be attacked?
That's all just for show, though. It'll be our allies who are attacking us.
Oh, I get it. We're going to make it look like the Alliance is attacking Imperial reinforcements.
Right. When the troops in the fortress panic and open up the gates, we're in.
I'd love nothing more than for this plan to work, but I've got some bad news for you. Apparently, the notorious Death Knight has been placed in charge of defending Fort Mercius.
The one who kidnapped Flame. The Death Knight. I did not wish to ever think of him again.
He got some acclaim in the battle to subjugate Western Fargus. They say he holds the most military prowess in the Empire.
Even so, we've got Teach here to command us. All will be well. You have to trust us.
So your big plan is to just trust your professor? Really, boy?
Under the professor's guidance, I'm sure we'll manage somehow. We're counting on the tactics you learned from Captain Gerald.
Prepare yourselves, everyone. It's time. Teach, this is for your ears only, but there's actually one more part to my plan. I had hoped it wouldn't come to this, but I have no choice. Absolutely. We can't afford to hold anything back. Thanks to Edelgard's strength, the Imperial Army is more unified than I would have expected. It was a painful realization, but after our battle at Gronder Field, it's clear that we can't win if we don't pull out all the stops. I also realized something else during that battle. There really is something special about you, Teach. The reason we were all able to keep our cool in the midst of the chaos was because we all trust in you, in your command and in your strength. Everyone here believes that we will win as long as we have you on our side. Our faith in you is borderline religious. You and I, we have what it takes to free Fodlan from the Empire's rule. I know in my heart that we'll make it through to witness the world after all the fighting has ceased.
That woman approaches.
Who are you talking about? You don't mean that professor, do you? It doesn't matter. No one could take this fortress.
Sounds like a bother. I'll be taking a nap about now.
Will Death's scythe claim you? Or will I fall to that sword of yours?
Let's put the match on hold for now, Lawrence. Or if you can't wait, we'll say you won.
No. Let us resume it later. You haven't yet had the chance to use Thunderbrand.
You weren't using a relic either. If you had been, you would have won easily. Even without it, you're stronger than I expected. You seem to be fighting more intensely than usual.
Under ordinary circumstances, I'd have surely lost. But I had a vested interest in testing your character. If your swordplay relied at all on the dirty tricks of a fugitive, I would have felt compelled to defeat you.
Are you saying you fought more ably because you had a sense of purpose?
Not as such, although I admit that when we crossed blades, I became envious of your strength. I caught a glimpse in your elegant swordsmanship of an aspect of the noble ideal that I yet lack. That envy is perhaps what drove me to fight so hard.
Interesting.
I was also able to satisfy my curiosity. You are no criminal, but rather a lady of great conviction.
That might be an exaggeration. I've done some things I'm not proud of.
Modest as ever. Another of your noble qualities.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm no longer a noble.
Whatever your title, the responsible use of power is the very hallmark of nobility. Deny it all you like, but the way I see it, you are indeed a true noble.
I don't want to be a true noble. I won't be tied down by any stuffy idea of nobility. Although, if this is your way of flirting with me, perhaps I can be persuaded otherwise.
That's rather sudden.
Tell me, Lawrence, do you often woo noble women? As a true noble, I must be an ideal target for a fellow like you.
Since you put it that way, apologies, but I confess you've rendered me quite speechless.
Lighten up. I'm just teasing. You're clearly not ready to woo me.
Not ready? Do I not suffice for you? Is there some flaw that I could conceivably correct?
You're more open-minded than you used to be, but you're still so hung up on status and lineage. If you became a more tolerant person, maybe it would work out. What matters isn't someone's blood, it's what they want, what they fear, what they accomplish. When you understand that, let me know, and I might just fall for you.
Just wait and you shall see, Catherine. I fully intend to live up to the very highest of your standards.
I just wanted to say that I've been watching and I'm really impressed by how hard you work. Very dedicated for someone so young.
Oh, thank you.
I really admire your everything. But you know, everybody needs to relax now and then. I was wondering if maybe you and me could...
I'm quite busy. I should get going. Bye.
That was difficult to watch.
Lawrence, ever since you started hanging around, I've had no luck. Usually, if I show a girl I'm mature, noble, and interested, she's an easy catch.
Your logic is sound, I will admit, but your results are less than entirely convincing. Honestly, all this talk of maturity and experience from a shallow person like you is rather laughable.
Shallow? What? Like your nobleness as some properly cultured man of the world?
Naturally, my bearing is as elegant and refined as silk. Observe. You seem to be deep in thought. Is there something on your mind? Please, allow me to lend you my ear. I will gladly shoulder any of your burdens.
Oh, thank you. But it's not something I really want to talk about.
So harsh. Even the slightest worry, I would have been happy to listen.
Why, yes, your silky bearing was quite impressive. You're always going on about nobility, but that's no way to win a woman. Your problem, and I may have told you this before, at least twice, your problem is you're pretentious.
That's rich, coming from you. Your bearing is so flippant that you utterly fail to gain a lady's trust. How can you not see that?
All I'm failing to see is you getting a girl's attention.
How dare you?
Listen, I'm sorry. That was mean. And you're probably right about me not being serious enough.
I will concede, I feel the same. Enough at least to keep your advice at the back of my mind. I was a touch too stubborn.
It's the same in battle, isn't it? If you don't bend a little, you fail.
Even so?
Yeah, with that being said...
I will outclass you, Sylvain.
Bring it on, Lawrence.
Is that Professor Manuela? Her voice is every bit as fine as you might expect from the former leader of the Middle Franc troop. Oh, if it weren't for her drinking and her woefully inadequate manners, she would fit right in with high society. Wait a minute.
As my mind clings to desperate thoughts, here it comes, horse-foam, moon, and summer's end.
That's my... Oh, no. No, no, no!
Oh, Lawrence! I heard you shout. Are you okay?
The poem! My poem! Forget it, I said! I asked you for one thing!
And I told you it would be impossible for me to forget.
Certainly, I understand. But setting it to music, and now singing it?
Oh, yes. It makes for a beautiful song, doesn't it? I'm feeling so lonely and blue. My dearest has left. He has gone far away, and I'm here, all alone. And in my sadness, your poem, well, it became a song for me to sing. It brought me a moment of happiness.
I do not know who spurned you, but I assure you my poem has nothing to do with any such feelings. It is getting late. We should both turn in. I will take my leave now.
Oh, I understand. You're leaving me too. Why? Am I too old to matter?
No, I never said any such thing. Why, I am sure there are plenty of men who would prefer a mature woman such as yourself.
Mature, he says. I knew it. You're all the same, you know. No one sees the person behind the voice. They just see me older today than yesterday. They say, "Oh, look what happened to her." Nobody sees my frustration, my resignation to be forever alone. But you do. It's all right there in your poem.
Please, I assure you, my poem was not about that at all. It was actually about the ideal of nobility. The sentiment is that someday I know I will get what I want. There is no resignation in it, as you seem to be suggesting.
Lawrence. I was sure the poem was more about someone lamenting their frailty and the loneliness of time's passing. But that's not it at all, is it? This is the story of someone impatient to get ahead, who is afraid they'll never make it.
The speaker in the poem does lament his shortcomings. The road to reach his ideal is long. It is a trial, a test. If he can just find his way through it, he knows he can move forward. So I think you should try to move forward too. Because with a voice as talented as yours, how could you possibly fail?
Lawrence, someday you should let me sing this song in public. I think people who are battling through their own trials, they might find comfort in this. And I believe I'm the only one who can do your work justice.
Very well. You have my assent. On the condition that you do not attach my name to it. Now, permit me to retire for the night. I require ample rest to maintain an adequate level of polish, you know. I suppose, if my poem must be set to music, then it had best be done by such a talented singer.
Mission complete. We're done here.
Let's report back.
Well done out there, Raphael.
Did I do good? My presence wasn't too leaky or anything?
You weren't perfect. But you were good enough. The enemy didn't notice you, and that's all that counts. You should do well in battle, too.
Oh, yeah! Thanks for taking me on the mission with you, Shamir. Now, how can I repay you?
Please, there's no need.
Aw, come on. Don't be like that. I swear, I'll do whatever I can to...
Okay, if you insist. Then go back to the way you were. That's enough for me.
I don't get it.
You're now able to go undetected on the battlefield, but usually you...
Ah, I know. I spent too much energy trying to hide my presence. I gotta train more so it comes naturally.
I was actually going to suggest the opposite. Your presence is a comfort to your allies. I am also more comfortable knowing that you're around.
Really? If that's how you feel, then we gotta stick together. We can eat meals together, train together, hang out together, or...
No. I mean, that won't be necessary.
Oh, alright. I guess I'll leave you alone then.
That's not what I meant either. I won't stop you if you wish to continue working with me. Let's do recon again sometime.
Really? That's great! I can't wait!
Always diligently working on your craft.
Ah, Ingrid! How long were you standing there?
Only just now. Oh, is that the new painting you were mentioning? You sounded especially inspired about this one. May I see?
No. I mean, the painting's not ready yet. I don't want anyone to see it before it's finished.
But we had spoken about how much your perspective can broaden when you let other people in on your work. Had a change of heart?
It's not that. This one is embarrassing, is all.
Come on. You know you don't need to feel embarrassed around me. Please, show me.
All right. Just for a second.
This one is even more beautiful than the last. A knight in shimmering armor fighting in all her glory. That lance looks a lot like mine. And the armor. And the horse. Ignatz? Is that?
Yes. It's you.
The woman in this image. She's so powerful and regal. I'm in awe. So elegant and refined, but with such a soft air, despite the armor and weaponry.
That's how I see you. You remind me of Saint Saros. Brave and vibrant and powerful, yet kind and gentle. Sorry, was that too much? That was too much.
Thank you, Ignatz. I'm deeply touched. And also embarrassed.
I'm feeling a little embarrassed myself.
Truly, I'm so moved. I guess now I really need to live up to all your painting encompasses. Please show it to me once it's finished.
I will. I promise. Though I don't think I'll show it to anyone else.
Sylvain, I've been looking for you. Do you have a moment?
Hey, Lysithia. I was about to grab some food. Would you like to come along?
Actually, yes. That sounds fine.
Great. Let's go. The dining hall isn't exactly relaxing, is it? If there's a next time, I'll take you somewhere with a much better atmosphere.
I don't really care about the atmosphere. I just wanted to apologize.
Nah, I get why you told me off. There's nothing you need to apologize for.
Can you just shut your mouth and listen for once? Here's something you may have already picked up on. I very much dislike being treated like a child. I've worked very hard to be where I am now, and such treatment makes it feel like all of that work is being ignored.
But I think you're a genius, and you work harder than I ever did. When I was your age...
Yes, you already told me all of this. Back then, you were just as devoted to goofing off as you are now.
Ah, so I already told you that. What a perfect memory you have.
And there it is. You're always so quick to flatter every woman you come across. I knew that, and yet I never thought you would direct your antics at me.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I know how hard you work, and I really wasn't trying to upset you. I just wanted to chat.
I do not mind that you wished to chat with me. In fact, you might even say I was happy about it. Just a bit.
Seriously? It sure didn't seem that way.
Well, it's true. Your behavior is maddening. But in retrospect, I realize that was you treating me as you do all women, rather than like a child. I wasn't thinking about it like that at the time, and so I snapped at you. I could have perhaps approached the matter with a tad more maturity. Therefore, I would like to apologize.
An apology? That is not how these conversations usually turn out. There's no need for that, though. Really, you'll make me blush if you keep this up. Listen, Lysithea, I want you to know that I meant every word, even if sincerity is difficult for me. You're as lovely as you are clever, and you have this strange charm about you. That's what I really honestly think.
There you go again with your false flattery.
I swear to you, it isn't false at all. And it's not flattery if it's the truth.
Say what you will, you're still gonna have to earn my trust. Just this once, I'll cut you some slack. Don't get used to it. It's not like I can change who you are as a person.
Sweet and tolerant. You never cease to amaze.
I'll leave you with this. Don't say things you don't mean. It makes it impossible to tell the lies from the truth. Don't come crying to me if you carry on as you have and end up with no friends.
I have to say, Lysithea, your harshness is one of those things I find so charming about you.
You are exhausting. I guess the positivity is okay, though. Did you want something, Professor Hanneman?
Ah, Lysithea. Thank you for coming. First, I ask that you allow me to apologize. I fear I hurt you with my insensitive words. I have failed you, not as a researcher, but as a human being.
I'm the one who should apologize. I'm sorry for being rude to you. Anyway, I'll keep going along with your research. I have to be on my way now.
Please, Lysithea, a moment more. I did not call you here simply to apologize. I told you once that you were an exquisite subject for my crest research. Why? Because there are no records of any other person ever having borne 2 crests.
Correct.
We cannot say anything for certain about the makeup of your body. Therefore, it seems hasty to conclude that overcoming your shortened lifespan is an impossible feat.
What is it you're implying?
Lysithea, what is my field of study?
Crestology, of course.
Indeed, and the goal of my field is to unravel every single mystery crests might conceal. Someday, I even hope to devise a means to bestow a crest upon any who desires one.
Why would you want to do such a thing?
Because I despise this world in which the presence or absence of a crest can determine a person's worth. However, if artificially implanting a crest causes too great a toll on the subject, it would be useless. As such, reducing the strain of crests on the human body is one of my research goals. Understanding how to implant a crest might also lead to the knowledge of how to remove them, yes?
Do you think removing a crest could mean that they won't suffer from its effects any longer?
What I am trying to tell you is, the question of whether your lifespan can be restored is entirely within the scope of my research.
Could you really do that?
It is difficult to say for sure. But as long as the possibility exists, I will continue to seek it. Lysithea, let me ask you once more. Will you assist me in my research?
Professor Hanneman, I think I'm the one who should be asking for your help, really. Anyway, I'm sick of a crest determining a person's worth, too.
Ah, is that right? Perhaps you would even like to begin studying crestology yourself. I think you would make a fantastic apprentice. A life devoted to research is a noble life, you know.
If you do manage to restore my lifespan, I'd certainly think about it.
I will hold you to those words. Ah, I see a fine future ahead of us.
Lysithea, do you have a moment?
I do. What do you need to speak with me about?
I was thinking about the time we talked about our crests bringing bad weather.
Yes. We never did get to test that theory, since I haven't found any sun-bringing folks.
Joking aside, each crest is unique in how it impacts the bearer's life. I've seen more than my share of crest bearers, after all. Some of them bore crests of Karen like us, some even bore crests of Gloucester.
Certainly, but I don't see your point.
I'm not a crest scholar. I don't know all the details. I have a knack for guessing a person's crest just by looking at them. Forgive me, but do you have 2 crests?
Well?
You don't have to tell me. I mean, it shouldn't even be possible to bear 2 crests. So if you do have 2, you must be sitting on some major secrets.
It's nice to know that someone understands.
Of course. Everyone has things they would rather not talk about. For all you know, Catherine's not my real name. Maybe I'm an outlaw on the run from my homeland.
That can't be true, can it? Stop messing with me.
I was kidding, though who knows? Maybe there is some truth in it. My point is, no matter what secrets we're keeping, I'm still me, and you're still you. I do worry a little about you. You never seem to let your guard down around other people. That can't be easy. You know, it's important for you to relax once in a while.
I don't even know the meaning of the word.
That's easy. Just gab with your friends about something pointless, and the stress will fade away. I'm always happy to chat, if you're interested.
Well, thank you. Why are you being so kind to me anyway?
I just feel a certain kinship with you. We both have crests of Karen, and we both have secrets we can't share with anyone.
I see. I will say I'm happy to have someone around who actually seems to understand me.
Good. You can feel comfortable with me. Since we have the same crest, we're basically sisters.
Aw, I really like that. Someone as wonderful as you is my big sister?
Well, don't you just say the cutest things. That's my little sister for you.
Oh, it's Sedith. I'd better slip away before he...
Ah, I see you are indulging in a bit of reading. You are fond of books, I take it?
Yes, reading's one of my favorite pastimes. I was just finishing up, actually, so I think I'll...
That is most fortuitous.
Fortuitous? How do you figure?
Come with me. I have a story to share with you. Once upon a time, deep in the cold mountains, there lived a lazy fox and an industrious squirrel. The squirrel worked tirelessly all day long, while the fox did nothing but lounge around and play. When autumn came, the squirrel hurriedly gathered up acorns for the winter. But the fox continued to play without a care. A biting winter fell upon the land. The mountains, caked in snow, concealed all nourishment from sight. The hungry fox went to the squirrel's dwelling, but the squirrel had locked up tight and gone to sleep. Every so often, the squirrel would wake, enjoy a nibble of an acorn, and then return to an easy slumber. The fox, on the other hand, with nowhere else to turn, was forced to scrounge for food in the bitter cold of the forest. Forlorn and hungry, he wandered in solitude all through the winter, until spring came once more. And so it is to this very day that foxes are denied the comforts of hibernation.
Ah, I really learned something about foxes. I read lots of fairy tales like that when I was little. But the lazy fox and the industrious squirrel, huh? That one I don't think I've heard before.
That is not surprising, considering I wrote it.
Oh, you wrote it?
I did. When Flame was young, she loved fairy tales more than anything. I would read them to her often. This one, however, is a more recent creation. I wrote it for the benefit of the children in the monastery. So, what do you think? I'm curious to hear what sort of impression it made on you.
It's so cute!
You found it to be cute?
I can just see it now. You writing fairy tales for your little sister. That's just the cutest thing! Honestly, to me, you usually come across as stern and overly perceptive. But now I know you have a sweet side, too. I feel like I'm seeing you in a whole new light.
That is not what I was hoping to hear. How are you, Catherine? You look well enough.
Oh, yes, I'm fine. Never better.
That is good. I cannot help but be concerned given your tendency toward incautious behavior. While boldness can be a virtue, I do hope you will bear in mind that recklessness is not. A moment's negligence can lead to a mortal wound for even the most skilled fighter.
You worry too much. If they saw me in action, the wounds themselves would cower.
That is precisely the attitude that worries me, especially given your history. You have been gravely injured before, as you no doubt recall.
Me? Gravely injured? When did that happen?
You mean you have forgotten? It was during your days as a student at the Officers' Academy. There was an excursion, a monster hunt. You charged ahead and left your fellow students behind. You ended up alone and surrounded. You almost died. Do you truly not remember?
Are you sure? All I remember is cutting down monsters left and right.
That is true enough, but you nearly bled to death in the aftermath. The Archbishop was so concerned for your life that she tended your wounds personally.
Oh, that was when that happened. Finally! It all fits together. Lady Rhea looking after me. Now that I remember clearly. That was the first time she ever spoke to me. I was lying on the ground, caked in mud, and she gently picked me up, even stroked my hair. The emotions were so overpowering that they must have just cleared away my memory of the whole incident. So it was during the monster hunt. Thanks, Sedith. That's been bothering me for ages.
That is not quite why I brought it up.
Come to think of it, Lady Rhea hasn't healed me since then. We've got to find Lady Rhea, and then maybe someday she'll honor me like that again.
Thank you so much.
While awaiting reinforcements, the Alliance predicts the Empire will continue to fortify its defenses at Fort Mercius. Knowing this risk, Claude and a select few advance, hoping to gain entry to the fort through deception.
Time to get...
I'll give this a...
I'll give it...
General, reinforcements have arrived from the capital. They clashed with Alliance forces in the outskirts of the city, but should enter the fortress soon.
You let them in? Make haste and slaughter them all!
Huh? Why?
They are enemies. Slaughter them all. I will not say it again.
We made it in. Professor, take control from the south. I have my own task to do from here. There are preparations to be made for our secret plan.
I see your skills haven't dulled yet, kiddo.
What did you expect? Everyone, listen up! From now on, the Almiran forces will be fighting by our side. We'll work as one, and we will bring down that fort together! An impregnable fortress is a wide-open prairie once you get inside. From here, we'll attack from the north and south at once.
No different than a prairie, you say? You've got a strange head on your shoulders, kiddo.
For Nadir the Undefeated, this should be as easy as a walk in a meadow, right?
Ha! Well, goddess or death god or whoever they may be, let's crush them to dust.
Shall we?
Shall we?
Steady now.
What's my strategy?
Leave it to me.
My orders? Let's make this quick. I'll do my best.
Let's go.
Onward. Ha!
At the ready. A fitting outcome.
All is going to plan. Watch and learn.
Don't waste it.
Apologies.
Should have seen that coming.
Pure grit! I'm not dying here.
You're amazing.
That helps. It's done.
We're all desperate, aren't we?
Lost that one.
Sorry!
I've got another option. I can help. Oh, I got it.
for now. I'll revel in my achievement.
You're really tough.
I'm grateful.
Can't afford to slack off.
I know just the thing.
No time for mercy. This is for the best, right? I feel a little stronger.
That's another one.
Our quarrel wasn't personal.
One day, the
You're making me work. Sorry, but it's you or me. For Gerald.
A fitting outcome. Strategy in motion. I fought and won. We're all desperate, aren't we? The weak fall, the strong live. Strategy in motion. Sorry, but I must.
apologies.
It's a bad time to die.
Don't get used to this.
Can we help?
It's time.
We're all desperate, aren't we?
I'll tolerate no obstacle.
How about a curtsy? Did the trick.
The time is ripe.
Report! The Death Knight is moving. It looks like they're abandoning the fortress and making an escape.
We need to put an end to this here and now. Come on, let's circle around and cut off his retreat.
It won't be in vain.
That's a big help.
Action word. Nice try.
Thank you.
Can't afford to slack off. All right, who's next? no time to slow down.
Ever since returning to the Empire, I knew this day would arrive. I just hoped it might take a bit longer. Ugh.
It's over.
I hope someday there will be no fighting and we can all just nap the afternoon away.
Sorry, but I must.
That's enough! Don't get used to this. Yep.
Thanks for that. Sorry.
No chance.
Too close for my liking.
dry yet.
Thanks.
You lost that one.
At the ready. So close.
Hold a grudge if you must.
A fitting outcome. I'm hurt, but I'm with you.
That helps. I will kill.
Another victory.
Guess I have no no choice. Can't afford to slack off.
I gotta keep up. Sorry it's gotta be like this.
We're all desperate, aren't we?
Time for second! You should have seen that coming.
Well done.
Why, thank you.
Apologies.
At the ready. Hey, how long's it been? 5 years? Who'd have thought you'd end up an Imperial General?
So, you wish to die?
As antisocial and unhinged as ever, I see. Hold a grudge if you must. The dreams of men don't amount to much.
What's my strategy? This could turn the tides. Not my best.
Onward. Let's make this quick.
I have no need of you. If you desire to slay me, follow. The appointed hour is at hand.
He's hiding something. It's annoying to do what he's telling us to, but we don't really have a choice. After him!
It is coming. Leave now, or all of you will die.
Run! We have to evacuate immediately!
What just happened here? The fort. It's just gone.
Hey, kiddo, what was with that javelin of light?
Javelin of light. Well, that describes it pretty well. The fortress was supposedly impregnable, but look at it now. It's hard to imagine that the Empire would do something like that. But if not them, then who? And for what purpose? If they wanted to kill us, then why wait until now to use it?
We almost died just now, and without an answer to any of that. Speaking of unanswered questions, why is Nardell here? Care to explain? I get the feeling there's something you two are keeping from us.
I'll go ahead and see my subordinates off to Elmira, kiddo.
Wait, Nadir! Are you really just gonna leave me here and run away?
I hope to see you again, Judith. And you too, Professor. I'll be praying for your safety.
Nadir, are you saying that Nardell is actually Nadir the Unstoppable?
It's actually Nadir the Undefeated. Almirans love grand titles.
I knew he was no ordinary person, but to think he was the great hero of Elmira.
Hey, can we really afford to be chatting right now? If another one of those javelins of light falls, we're all dead.
Claude, there are things I wish to ask you, but first we must hurry and withdraw.
Right you are. Come on, everyone. Let's hurry up and get out of here.
Claude, it is time for you to explain. Why are you so close with an Almiran general?
Well, he did quite a bit for me when I was younger.
When you were younger? So, before you joined House Regan. How and where did you meet him? There aren't many opportunities to meet a general from Elmira in Fodlan.
If that's what you believe, it's only because that's what you've been led to believe. After all, we have Cyril here among our allies, and he was born in Elmira.
Hey now, don't drag me into this.
There's a big, wide world outside of Fodlan, and it's overflowing with different places and cultures. You think interacting with outsiders is odd, but isn't avoiding contact with the outside world far more unnatural?
Don't change the subject, Claude. To the people of the Alliance, the Almirans are...
It's true that there's a history of hostility, but why should that mean we're doomed to remain hostile forever? The Almirans aren't monsters. Just look at Cyril. Does he look like a monster to you?
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Right, Teach? What did you think when you met Nadir? I'll tell him you said that. And I'm sure that if all of you got to know him, all of your preconceived notions would change too. I know you guys, and you aren't the type of people to reject someone without trying to get to know them.
But how did those Almirans even get past Fodlan's throat? I doubt my brother would just let them pass without saying anything.
Yeah, about that. I actually made sure your brother met Nadir in advance.
What? Lord Holst met with an Almiran general?
Oh, so that's why you were so interested in my brother. But wait, they're supposed to be bitter enemies. They've fought each other several times before.
I know, it was a big gamble. But rather than having me try to convince them myself, I knew it would be easier to just have them meet. They were taken aback at first, but sure enough, they hit it off. They were even drinking to their newfound brotherhood before parting.
It makes sense. If you take the greatest heroes away from the battlefield, of course they'll get along.
Fighting one minute and drinking together the next? Men are so weird.
Ultimately, someone's bloodline has nothing to do with the friendships they forge. Relations between the Alliance and Elmyra is a matter we'll tackle in the future. Still, I want to take this opportunity to make one thing clear to all of you. After we defeat the Empire, I intend to tear down the walls that separate Fodlan from the outside world. I want to let people and goods come and go freely, and in doing so, eradicate prejudices about the outside world.
Huh? Would it even be possible to achieve such a thing? It directly contradicts the Seros' tenets.
Does it? I'm not so sure. In any case, I'm prepared for the inevitable protests and criticism. New ways of doing things are always met with resistance. During our time at the Officers' Academy, all of you overcame the barriers of birthplace, status, and ideology. Having gone through so much with all of you, I have no doubt that, in time, you'll understand.
I guess there were a lot of different people there. People we wouldn't have met through the normal course of our lives.
Dusker once opposed the kingdom, but there was someone from Dusker there. Brigid once invaded the Empire, but the Brigid princess was there. We ate at the same table as those people. Sure, sometimes we didn't get along, but other times we helped each other out. Can we really draw a definitive line in the sand and say one group of people is all good and another all bad? If I can realize my dream, Fodlan will be reborn. The old age will end, and we'll welcome a new dawn.
But if...
Save your objections for another day, Gloucester boy. That said, there are more pressing matters to discuss. Our next step is to invade the Imperial capital, right?
That's right. I'm sure Edelgard is eagerly awaiting our arrival in Enbar. Reinforcements from the Alliance Lords should arrive soon. Let's make sure we're ready to greet them.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Garland Moon. The Chaos of War. Claude's plan to call in all Myran forces succeeds, and the Alliance army captures Fort Mercius. Before they can celebrate their victory, javelins of light rain down from the sky and destroy the fort. Forced to temporarily evacuate, the Alliance army regroups at Garreg Mach until it is ready to march on Enbar, the Imperial capital.
It's almost time to invade the Imperial capital. We still don't know where Rhea is, but if she's alive, she's likely in Enbar. Hopefully we manage to find her without too much trouble. I know, but if we're not careful, she'll just be whisked away again. I'm sure you must be anxious to see her again. I understand. You need to see Rhea again so you can figure out who you really are. But we're going up against Edelgard here. It won't be so simple.
Our next stop is the Imperial capital. We've sure come a long way.
What are you talking about? This is Garreg Mach. It's where we started.
I didn't mean literally, Raphael. I was speaking symbolically.
My earnest desire to protect the Alliance has carried me this far. It will not fail me. I am sure the rest of you all have your own reasons to fight as well. Of course, I understand that the fight will not end until we defeat the Empire. And now the time has arrived at long last to march on the Imperial capital and defeat the Emperor.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? We all come from different places and have different goals and dreams. But thanks to those two, we were all able to come together and overcome all sorts of challenges. You are referring to Claude and the Professor, I assume? Even within our own odd group, those two are particularly unusual. Oh, so you are aware that you're odd. Well, it was simply a figure of speech. I am speaking about Claude and the Professor right now.
They're like the wind and the trees.
Huh? Claude and the Professor are? What does that even mean? And who is which?
Oh, I was just thinking that if we're the birds, then those two are like the trees and the wind. The Professor is a great tree that kindly embraces us and watches over us as we perch on its branches. And Claude is like the wind, pushing us forward as we soar across the open sky.
The metaphor about the Professor is solid, but I think Claude just blows us around on a whim. Still, we owe him a lot.
I think that's beautiful, Marianne. I can really picture it. When this war is over, I'd love to paint a picture of those two. Oh, and of all the people we've fought with as well.
You mean like a historical painting? I like that. Maybe our descendants will look at it a long, long time from now.
I must say, that piques my interest. I look forward to seeing how you portray my valiant efforts.
When you put it that way, we may be witnessing one of the greatest events in Vodland's history. It's a lot of pressure, but the sense of duty I feel is even stronger than the fear.
I'm just happy to be here with all you. I won't get scared, no matter what we face.
We have our goal. Enbar, the Imperial capital. Let's get to work.
Thank you so much.